So, you are an individual who has just left a narcissistic relationship and you find yourself behaving like a narcissist. You're starting to get the information, you're reading some books, you're getting some information online, you're listening to people, you're educating yourself about narcissistic abuse. And now you're looking at yourself, trying to understand if you are the narcissist. You don't know if you're the empath, if you're just a normal individual, if you're the narcissist. And it's very confusing. So that was me back in the days. Back in the years when I was starting my healing journey. Now, if you're an empath who has awakened, and you're still letting people hop into your bed, anyone can hop into your bed, in and out. Anybody who wants to date you, you let them into your bed. You might find yourself letting into your bed the next narcissist. So, healing is necessary. You need to heal, okay? You have got to heal. My ladies and gentlemen, all my videos, you know me, I emphasize healing. You have to heal. And when you're healing, you don't need to be having intimacy and all this sexual whatever, intimacy and stuff like that. You don't need. Because the more you heal, you get intimate with a stranger or whatever, you go back to square one. You start all over again. You heal. You go into another sexual encounter with somebody, you're going to go back to square one until you really understand who you are, number one, and until you understand that not everybody can simply jump into your bed. And that is one of the things that empaths are going to have to learn the hard way. When you sleep with somebody, you take on their karma. Are you guys following? You take on their karmic debt. So whatever it is was meant to happen for them may sometimes start happening to you, and vice versa. What is meant to happen to you is now going to start happening to them. So you're going to be exchanging energy. They will take your energy from you, you're going to take energy from them, and there's very big imbalance of energy. You could be a high vibrational person, you're sleeping with a very low vibrational person or evil person. You're going to pass on energy between each other. And you're going to start dealing with their karma. Is why many of times empaths, you guys are suffering and you don't know what is the problem. You don't even know that you have already swapped energies with somebody. And most of the suffering you are going through wasn't your suffering you were supposed to go through. It was something you picked up from somebody else, and you're the one that is paying the price. While they're out there enjoying your energy, you are now there enjoying their energy. So basically, I'm trying to say, be very careful when you're sleeping around people, okay? Empaths. HSPs, highly sensitive people. Start discerning who needs to hop into your bed, okay? Take your time to understand people. Read the energy, see where they're coming from energetically, then you can make a decision, okay? Whatever decision you make is going to be up to you. Now, you see, you've been entangled with a narcissist. It's been years, 7, 8, 9 years, I don't know. I was 7, maybe you was 10, maybe 20, I don't know. You guys know that in a relationship, you sleep with each other. They sleep with you, you sleep with them, whatever. And there's always been exchange of energy. The narcissist actually has been stealing your energy. They have been stealing your energy. So they have been stealing your energy. They have been stealing your identity. They have been stealing your personality. They have taken all the good qualities that you have, and you have taken the bad qualities that they have. So when you do leave a narcissist, one of the things you realize in the first couple of weeks and months, and that thing can take some time, you're going to find yourself questioning yourself if you are a narcissist, because you may find yourself in the energy of anger, resentment, jealousy, envy. I've seen sometimes on my videos, there are some people, they call themselves empaths. But when you see the comments they're writing in the comment section, you just know that these people, they're very toxic, extremely toxic. They are empaths, but they're in the very toxic energy. A narcissist will steal your energy and your identity. So they're going to move on to the new relationship, and it is going to be, the person in the new relationship is going to be dealing with a version of you that is manifesting within the narcissist. Let's do this one more time. The person the narcissist moves on with, the next victim, whatever, survivor, victim, or whatever, they are going to be dealing with the version of you that is existing within the narcissist. So you may see the new person actually dealing with the narcissist who is cooking the same food you guys used to eat, saying the same words you guys used to use, the vibe, personality, signature. And while they are there, they are going to be now copying the personality of their next victim. And then, of course, they will shed off your personality with time as the time goes on, and they're going to take on the personality of their next victim. That's how this whole thing works. It's all energy. Most of the times you hear coaches talking about healing. The people you see talking about healing, they know what healing is. They've already been there. They have done that. So if you take guidance from those people, you're going to get very far in life, because you cannot move on into a new relationship when you haven't done any healing work on yourself. So you guys have heard about the rebounds. When you get into a rebound, let's say, for example, you've broken up and you went into another relationship in the next couple of weeks, maybe some couple of months, that's called the rebound. The rebound never work, because you may sometimes run into a good person, very nice. You could even run into your soulmate. You never know. But you're not ready for the relationship. In most of the times, that new person that you run into, the rebound, is going to be dealing with the narcissistic version that exists within you. So you're going to find yourself very, very toxic. You might start rubbing off that energy on the new person. They have nothing to do with your pain, whatever it is you went through, the abuse, there was not there. But now, you guys have started dating, and they're going to feel like you're very toxic. You are very toxic. The unhealed, I can promise you, because I've been in that position before, a couple of years ago. You're going to be a very toxic empath. So most of the times, you're going to be exhibiting the personality of a narcissist, because there's a lot of things you've been learning. The things they used to tell you, their behavior, their personality, their signature. You're going to be the narcissist. Now, if you're the person in that position who believes or thinks you could be the narcissist, there's only one way to identify that you know the narcissist. You have empathy. You have got empathy, okay? You can empathize with people. Yes, your empathy could have been beaten down at some point. You've been years with these people, but you're still an empath. If you can still feel other people's emotions, you can resonate with people, you can feel energies and stuff, then you know the narcissist, because the narcissist doesn't have empathy. They lack empathy. They might be at 0 or even 10% minimum, but they don't have any level of empathy. They can only exhibit empathy when it benefits them. But if it's not in their own advantage, they are way below the spectrum of an empath. So you have a stop button. You cannot go ahead trying to destroy people, and you cannot go ahead trying to do these horrible things, evil stuff and things. Yes, you could be doing them eventually, because it's been a couple of weeks. You've just left a narcissistic relationship. You could have a certain level of evil, because I've told you you're still carrying on the energy of your narcissistic ex-partner. But as the time goes on and you're doing some healing work, that energy will fade away, because that is not your signature. Your energy will start coming back to you, okay? But you're going to do the healing work. So empaths, many of my videos I talk about healing. It's an inside job. It's a lot of work, okay? You don't heal in a day. You don't heal in 2 days. Healing from narcissistic abuse takes a lot of time, a lot of work, a lot of effort, a lot of time, a lot of perseverance, commitment. You have to commit yourself on this journey. So if you find yourself the empath who is still jumping into relationships, you have just left a narcissist, another one comes in, well, maybe let me try this one, maybe this one is better than the other one. No, it doesn't work like that. You're going to continue attracting, because you're in the energy. You're extremely low vibrational. You're very toxic. You're a toxic empath. And you're still bleeding from the wounds of that previous relationship. So definitely, you're going to bleed onto somebody else that never hurt you. So it's why you see a lot of those rebounds. In a month or two, you guys are going to break up, because the partner, the other guy, the man or woman, may think that maybe you're too toxic, you're very difficult to handle, you're always crying around, you're always sobbing on his shoulders, you're always complaining about this, you're always, this kind of stuff. They're going to run away. They will not stay with you. You might even sometimes hear them say some things like, you might be a narcissist yourself. That is because you have not taken the time to heal yourself. So empaths try to heal, okay? The only way out to move forward after narcissistic abuse is when you pause getting into relationships and you're going to take some time for yourself to heal. Okay? Is the only way you can get out of that energy. That wasn't your energy. You've been entangled so long, and the energy you're carrying at the moment within your energetic field is the energy of the person you've been dating. Okay? So, you're not the narcissist. You're not the narcissist because you're still an empath. You're still a very empathetic person. You could have been beaten down to 30, 40%, but you're still an empath. You have a stop button. You can know that, okay, this thing is damaging the other person. You're going to stop. You're not going to continue. You have a stop button. But you see, with a narcissist, they do not have a stop button. They just keep on going all the way. Okay? So educate yourself about narcissistic abuse. Keep on learning. Keep on listening to the coaches, the survivors. Many of them are online now. There are some books out there. Get some books. If you're a book reader, read some books. Educate yourself and understand what narcissistic abuse is, and commit yourself to healing. With time, as the time goes on, you're going to come back to your original signature, because you was never the narcissist in the first place. So let us know what you think about the video. You guys know I do love and appreciate your support. Please book a session if you want to. You may donate or support my channel if you want to. Everything you need, you will find it in the description below. And until then, I'll catch you guys in my next one. There's the most signing out. Much love and blessings. Peace.